Well, welcome to Slackville, and I haven't recorded any real SMP content from here, and I am at our wizarding school, and I'm gonna do some building. I just feel motivated to actually build some stuff. This isn't my build, this is a build that Jade and I have worked on, and some other people may have contributed here, but mainly it's Jade and myself. And what we have here is our Great Hall, the main housing area, and then the main school area. But what Jade has worked on over here is getting the greenhouses in. So she has a greenhouse for the dark arts, and she made this a while back, and it's a beautiful dark coral tree, lots of plants and whatever else. And she made more of the like happy greenhouse, and this is made with a living coral tree, and I'm not going to even touch it or look at it because she has got water stashed in there to keep it all alive. This has pending tick on, or this has random tick on, and if there's one piece of water that dries up, that thing does die. Over here, we're going to have the Whomping Willow. I have some redstone for that. I just haven't built it yet. And then this is Jade's Twitch subscriber and other fun things greenhouse. So that is what lives over here. But what I want to work on is more floors and walls. So in here, this is our farming area. I have my bone meal farm, or it's a moss farm that makes bone meals. We have a bunch of different types of trees down here that we farm. We've got moss. We got a storage area. We got cactus, netherwort, and 2 iron farms. One there and one there. These are also glass farms, so that way we can get glass in bulk. So every one of these villagers has bookshelves, lanterns, and glass for trade. And they've all been zombified once to keep the prices low. But this is the area that I want to work in. So we're not going to go jump around the rest of the server unless we need something. This is where we're going to get goods from, and we're just going to work on putting in floors and really just building out the inside of here. So if you didn't know, this is our changing staircases, and over in here is our Great Hall. So this is the Great Hall with the floating candles and the big beautiful ceilings and a bunch of other stuff. This is pretty well completed, and I kind of want to get us to the point where the rest of the exterior looks nice and the interior as well. What this is our sorting hat. I know it looks really big and clunky, but it's what I've got. So you sit in here, and it gives you a random house assignment. You toss it back, and it can go in for the next one. I used to go live on Twitch quite a bit, and these are people that we sorted into various houses. We sat in the chair for each one of these people when they redeemed a reward on Twitch. I haven't figured out how I would do something similar for YouTube or any of that sort of stuff. I'm just trying to get you caught up on where we are at. So, what do we want to work on today? I am not exactly sure. I am thinking it would be nice to... Maybe we should finish this roof off, because this roof has been incomplete for an age, and really it would be nice to have a big beautiful roof line and it would be nice just to have something a little bit tidied up. So let's take a look. What did I do for block counts? So I started out with 1 stair, and then it's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, and so it's stair, 2 oak blocks, stair, 2, stair, 2, stair, 2, all the way up. Okay, so we're gonna start on this side here and try to build up to the middle. Let's get some dark oak and let's get building. And we may need to farm some dark oak. I got 1 shulker of dark oak for us right now, but that's not gonna go as far as you would think it would go. So let's go build for a bit, and then we'll come back and get more dark oak as we need it. By the way, a lot of the tools that I make are because I play on this server and I need them. So right now I'm using the key locker, which I love that tool. If you're on Windows, it is almost an essential for me because we don't have lock shift like you do on controller. So carpal tunnel in my hand is real if I don't have it. Anyway, if you don't have that tool, there should be a link on screen maybe. If not, search for the key locking and my channel name. Now, if you don't know the magic of linear place, you don't know the best thing in Bedrock. And that is being able to place blocks in front of you at full sprint speed without having to click. So you just start off like that, and then you can sprint. You can even sprint jump and build ridiculously fast. It's something that Java doesn't have, and if they knew about it, they would really want. I know that they have mods that allow them to place blocks in front of them in the air, but this is nothing like that. It is so much faster and more efficient. You can place blocks at a crazy rate, at rates that aren't even allowed to place blocks in Java. So if you're building big and you know linear place, Bedrock is your friend. Well, that's the end of the first day of block placing. And I think we are up quite a ways. We're probably about a quarter of the way done through with the roof that I have kind of set up here. So it's not going to take me too long, but that's largely thanks to linear block placing. It is crazy. Like, that's 10 minutes worth of work. If you were doing that in placing every block by hand, by clicking or pulling your trigger on the controller or whatever, it would take you so much longer. Once you figure out linear block place, you will never build the same way ever again. We're gonna have to go sleep the night away because this is too big and I'm gonna start spawning monsters soon. So we're gonna go in the construction area down here and find a bed that's been here for probably, I don't know, 3-4 years, and sleep in that bed. It's Jade's bed. I steal it all the time. Don't tell her. Alright, back to placing. Oh, and it was less than 10 minutes because I did sleep the previous night away, so it is really ridiculously fast to build. Okay, we're not quite finished with day 2 of placing blocks, and we just passed the roof line on the other side, which is great progress. So we're going to keep on building because I would like to finish the peak. I'd like to get the peak in. And there is a lot of stuff to do even after we get the peak in. It's just a matter of, it's kind of one of those stopping points where I know I made substantial progress. So let's try to get this roof at least put together. Yeah, we're gonna have to add little wizard towers and corners and nooks and steeples and whatever else. But yeah, end of day 2 and we passed where the other roof line was at, which is super exciting. And I'm out of planks. I still have about half a shulker of items left, but we'll sleep the night away. So that's about what we have left, and we're going to basically craft up enough stairs to do a couple of rows, and then we will end up having to bounce back and forth between the two sides a little bit. And this is the part that I was not sure what I wanted to do with yet. But we'll see where we get to. Roofs are kind of hard on these weird shaped buildings. And I think we're going to just keep going up here. I don't know if we're going to continue. That roof might need to come out and go back a block or two. So we're not going to build that up yet. If we decide to build it up later, that's great, but we're not going to build something that I might need to tear out. See how we like this part of the build, and then see how that roof line would look. The way that we laid this out is I found some maps from like books and drawings and whatever, and used them as reference material, and then just made them tall. I didn't even put like roof shapes or whatever. I just made them tall, and then I made a outline in survival of those block shapes. I used a program that I made called Model to Minecraft. I modeled a very basic shape of this castle, and then rendered it, and then placed all of the blocks for that basic shape. Anyway, that's how we got the outline, and that's why you see all these paths and shapes, but we still have built every aspect, and almost all of the design as well has been done in survival. And all of the blocks we farmed ourselves, all of that, you know, the normal survival stuff. And if you wanted to know, the castle is 500 blocks by 500 blocks. And the grounds are more like 800 blocks by 800 blocks. So to put that in perspective, that's a typical like size for an SMP itself. At least a Java SMP. They don't have as long of render distances, so people don't usually build as far apart on Java as they do on Bedrock. So this is sort of a massive, massive, massive build. It's not big enough that I think you need nether portals to get from side to side, but it's getting up there in size. Yeah, I told you that shulker's not going to go very far. Well, that's the last of the logs from that box. And I think, and it's almost the end of day 3 of placing. So I think that we're not going to finish, not because we are going to take too long or whatever, but because I'm going to need to find some more wood. So we're going to end up going on an adventure to look for some more dark oak and see what we can find. If not, we're going to have to go set up a little small dark oak harvesting area. It's not going to take too long to get another shulker of dark oak, but we'll be a lot more productive if we just have a shulker lying around someplace. Well, this is my last couple stairs, so that's how far a shulker of logs got us. Yeah, further than I thought it would, honestly, but we are out of logs, so we're gonna go see if Slack has any logs at his sorter. Him and I put the sorter together, and everything on this world is a community thing. If you really want to keep it, you keep it in your end chest. Other than that, pretty much everything's fair game. So I do not feel bad at all borrowing from one person or another. So this is Slack's area. He has this sorting machine, which is a explosion of what I built, or what I designed, and everyone loves it. So I am going to take whatever I can. Well, that's the end of day 4, so I'm going to go sleep the night away because there's creepers spawning. And then we will probably finish up on day 5. The roof was not that bad to put together, so that's actually great news. Then we've got a lot more fiddling to do with the walls, and now here it is, the line that I have all been waiting for. The last one on this roof segment. Yes, I'm going to have to go clean up a whole bunch of blocks that are just kind of hanging around from various starter blocks, I guess, but that's not going to take very long. One more pass with slabs on the top because I want everything spawn proof, and then we are good to go. Okay, and then slabs. Look at that. It only took 5 Minecraft days to build the entire top of this structure. Now, I'm going to take a step back. Yeah, that's got to go just like that. We can't leave this that way. It looks so funny if we did. So, that's going to take some fiddling. Don't know why I decided that that was a good idea to build it that way, but it was not. So we're gonna go break this across. Probably gonna have to move that wall a little bit, but that's not a big deal. Yeah, we're gonna have to just move this wall out like a little bit. It's not that big of a deal at all. The whole time I was building that, I was afraid I was off by 1 block. I didn't think I was, but I still had the fear. I don't know if any of you have that fear when you're building, the off by 1 block fear, but oh, I've had it happen so many times where I'm off by 1 and then have to tear a huge build out, whether it's a redstone contraption or whatever, and then redo the last hour or half hour or whatever work. But yeah, that is one of those demoralizing moments in Minecraft when you make a lot of progress and then find out you are off by 1 block and you got to do it all over again. Anyway, we're gonna tear this out, reclaim the blocks so that we don't have to use up a bunch more resources. Doing this for the stairs as I went because the stairs are the most expensive part, but it'll be nice to get the planks back too. I'm going to go down and pick them up, don't worry. See, look, going down and picking them up right now. Not that I accidentally fell or anything like that, but we're gonna go pick them up. That's what we're gonna do, right? That's what we gotta do, is go pick up the blocks. It didn't fall. We're also going to take out these beams because they're kind of like a mob spawn trap. I could see myself building later and a creeper spawning on these and then coming down and blowing me up. So we'll go clean these up and then go back to building. Now we should have a good number of blocks to get us from here to the top. I know I've got plenty of other logs and whatever else I need to finish it off if we don't have enough blocks from that collection. The nice thing about this is it's not so big that I have to sleep the night away because phantoms aren't gonna, or not phantoms, creepers and stuff aren't gonna spawn when I'm this close. Ooh, I forgot stairs on one of these levels. And there are creepers and spiders. I gotta go get rid of those and then replace the stairs. That could have been bad. I forgot to put stairs on this. And this is the last thing I got before I am done here. And am I going to have basically just the right amount of materials? And I know I'm not going to have block perfect, but even if I just have less than a stack of stairs left, that would be insane. And it is. See, what do I have? 28 stairs and 36 planks. That was nearly the perfect amount of materials for this. So, now, let's take a step back. That's a roof. We're going to have to fill the sides in, build the tower up, put a steeple on the tower. We have to build that tower up and put a steeple on it. Yeah, I think we're doing pretty good. We are definitely going to have to fix these notches, these little indents on the castle here, but that's not a problem at all. Anyway, this roof is done, and I think we're going to call it an episode there. I have no clue what I'm doing here, so if you like this, let me know. If you want to see me build more, I'm just playing. This is me playing Minecraft. This is where I love to play Minecraft. This is Slackville, and I am Mad Hatter. I will talk to you later. Bye!